What's up, Jolinator Club? Alright, so it has come to the year-end event. I am here tonight to present you guys with my top 10 favorite movies of 2016. Now, before I get started, first of all, I would just like to mention, these are my personal opinions. You may have different opinions of these movies, neither one of us are wrong. And also, before I get started, I do have a few honorable mentions. My first three, well actually, I only have, my honorable mentions are over here. My first one is kind of 3 in 1, 3 animated films, Kung Fu Panda 3, Moana, and Zootopia. Now, I liked all 3 of these movies. Obviously, I only own Zootopia, and Moana isn't even out on DVD yet, and I only own the first Kung Fu Panda, but regardless, I liked all 3 of these movies for different reasons. I won't get into them too much, but regardless, I enjoyed them. My next honorable mention is X-Men Apocalypse. Now, this is another one that I honestly feel like I like this movie a lot better than some other people did. Is it the best X-Men movie ever? Not by a long shot. But still, I enjoyed it for what it was, and I do recommend that you check it out if you haven't seen it already. And my last honorable mention, and this one I'm kind of cheating on because this was not the version that was released in theaters, but Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition specifically. This version was only released on Blu-ray, and I found this one to be better than the initial theatrical edition. The theatrical edition was okay, but it wasn't anything great or groundbreaking. Regardless, those are my honorable mentions, so let's toss this off to the side. And let's jump right into the list. Kicking things off at number 10 is Kubo and the Two Strings. Oh, I should also mention, I didn't do reviews for each of these movies, and I only own, the ones that are on my list, I only own 4 of them right here. But regardless, anyway, Kubo and the Two Strings. This one really surprised me. I did not think I was going to love Kubo and the Two Strings as much as I did. You know, it had a great story, it was an original concept, the animation was great, the voice acting was good, and I had an absolute great time with Kubo and the Two Strings. Honestly, you guys might disagree with me on this, but for those of you who have seen Kubo and the Two Strings, I think if they play the cards right, then it could be a franchise. For all I know, make it happen. Alright, my number 9 pick is Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange is a superhero that I didn't really know too much about going in, so I was kind of interested to know more about him when I saw the film. And I gotta say, Doctor Strange might have actually been the biggest comic book surprise of the year. You know, it combined, you know, action with some, like, magic and fantasy stuff, and that was really surprising to me. You know, it had, you know, great casting. Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job as Doctor Strange. Everybody in general did a great job, and when Doctor Strange comes out, if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely strongly recommend checking it out. My number 8 pick is Finding Dory. Now, I said in my review for Finding Dory that this was honestly what I would imagine what a sequel to Finding Nemo to be. I really liked this movie for different reasons. The new characters were just fantastic. Dory, as always, is hilarious. Ellen DeGeneres does a great job, and honestly, I think they should make one more Nemo movie and then just call it there. I won't get into too much detail here, but regardless, I still really liked Finding Dory, and if you haven't seen it yet, you do not know what you're missing. Alright, number 7 for me, I know I might get some hate for this one not being on my top 5, but for me, number 7 is Deadpool. Alright, so if you saw my review for Deadpool, you know that I absolutely loved it. This was the Deadpool movie that all of us fans wanted to see from the beginning, and we got it right here. Now, when X-Men Origins Wolverine first came out, we all thought that Ryan Reynolds would have been a good choice for Deadpool, and he did okay in the role until they ripped his mouth off, and we were like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. This was the Deadpool movie that we wanted to see from the beginning, and we got it here. The sequel is being written, but nothing's a given. So, regardless, Deadpool is a great movie. If you haven't seen it yet, dude, you don't know what you're missing. Give me some chimichangas. Alright. Woo! Alright, number 6 for me, I didn't do a review of this one, but for me, number 6 is Sully, starring Tom Hanks. I went and saw Sully with a complete empty mind, and I did not know what to expect. Not only did Sully surprise me in the best ways, but it shows that Tom Hanks can do basically no wrong. I absolutely loved the way he portrayed this plane captain how he was just, going forth with protecting the people on on this plane, and everything about it was just absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. If you haven't seen Sully yet, strongly suggest. Alright, number 5, I know I'm going to get some hate for this one, but please, I'm telling you guys, once again, this is my opinion. For me, number 5 is Suicide Squad. I went into Suicide Squad pretty hyped, and when I left that theater, I absolutely loved it. Suicide Squad was definitely one of the most unique comic book movies I've seen in a long time, because, you have all these anti-heroes and villains, and they're the main characters, and I found myself caring for most of them, like Deadshot and all that kind of stuff. Harley Quinn, great performance by Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto did an awesome job as the Joker. And if you haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, don't listen to the negative reviews for critics. Watch it for your own and draw your own conclusions. Suicide Squad, good job. Number 4 for me is Star Trek Beyond. Now, I said in my review for Star Trek Beyond that, of course, I really enjoyed it, but this movie went so many places that I did not expect a Star Trek movie to go. You have the crew of the Enterprise basically in different separated from each other, and now they got to get back together, get back on the Enterprise, and go win this fight. A simple concept, it might sound like it, but I'll tell you this: it is a really good film. The cast, just like the other 2 Star Trek films, is absolutely fantastic. This is a great Star Trek movie for any Star Trek fan out there. If you haven't seen it yet, I strongly suggest it. Number 3 is by far my favorite comic book film of the entire year, and probably yours as well, Captain America: Civil War. I love Captain America: Civil War for so many reasons. First of all, you have Captain America and Iron Man fighting against each other. Okay, we might have seen that before, but nothing as epic as this. You have Team Cap and you have Team Stark. I'm Team Cap, by the way. And, they just go at each other. They have different points of views, and everything about it. You don't know who you want to win when you're watching this movie. You're constantly going back and forth between sides, and it definitely rocks. Not to mention Tom Holland as the new Spider-Man. Rock on, bro. Can't wait for Homecoming. Number 2 for me is Hacksaw Ridge. Now, I said in my review for Hacksaw Ridge that it took me by complete surprise. This movie, I heard was, sort of like Saving Private Ryan, but I haven't actually seen Saving Private Ryan, so I can't make my comparisons. Regardless, Hacksaw Ridge, oh my gosh, Mel Gibson definitely knows how to tell a true story. Andrew Garfield did a fantastic job, probably an Oscar-worthy performance. Everybody else was good. Vince Vaughn, oh my gosh, what a surprise from Vince Vaughn. Someone who's usually funny but taking himself seriously in this. Man, now that is some good stuff right there. Hacksaw Ridge is great. Stellar filmmaking. If you haven't seen it yet, I honestly don't know what to say. I know I've been saying that a lot here, but it's true. And my number 1 pick, you probably already guessed it by now, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. I'm not just picking this because I'm a Star Wars fan or everything like that, but the thing is, adapting the story of how the Rebels got the Death Star, the story that we see in the opening crawl for the original Star Wars, not to mention it being a Star Wars anthology film, I did not know what to think of that originally until I actually saw the film, and oh my gosh, it blew my mind. The characters have more depth and realism, well, not really realism, but dimension, I guess I should say, than you might think. This movie is absolutely a great Star Wars film, one definitely worth checking out. I'm still a little skeptical about these upcoming Han Solo movies, but with Star Wars Episode 8 coming out, I'm still hyped. So there you go, guys. My top 10 favorite movies of the year. Post your comments below. What are your favorite movies of the year? List as many of them as you want. And again, if you guys don't agree with any of my picks here, this is my opinion. Yours could be different. Please respect it. I will see you guys next year. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching. And if you like this, like, comment, favorite, hit that subscribe button, and join the Jolinator Club. Chest bump.